After watching We Walk Up the Stairs, have you ever noticed that some people are easier to guess than others in ordinary life? Are you curious about the reasons behind? Actually, it relates to the concept lung capacity.
So, here is the question: what is lung capacity? By the definition, there are some important terms that you should first need to know before we explain what is lung capacity. The first one is tidal capacity, which means the amount of air that inhaled and exhaled during one respiratory cycle. The second one is vital capacity, which means the maximum of air that could be drawn in after a maximized inhalation. There are many other terms related to total lung capacity. However, these terms would not be used in our experiment. In this video, we are going to focus on the vital capacity, which contributes almost 80% of total lung capacity. We think it would be accurate enough to show what are the potential factors that affect the lung capacity.
I guess all of you should have a better understanding of it. And now, you may ask, if the exact value of total lung capacity could not be found, then what is our video made for? In fact, instead of finding the numerical value of total lung capacity, our aims in this experiment is to find out any factors that could influence the lung capacity.
We have established two hypotheses at the beginning of our experiment. The first one is that the lung capacity of athletes are greater than non-athletes. And the second hypothesis is that males' lung capacity are greater than the females.
In order to find out whether our hypotheses are true and what factors will influence the lung capacity, we conducted a series of experiments in CTV. Firstly, we surveyed and interviewed 20 participants, including 10 athletes and 10 non-athletes, in order to investigate the difference of their perception on lung capacity. For example, we asked something like, what is lung capacity?
I think lung capacity is the capacity of gas that you can exchange in every inhalation and exhalation.
I think it's how long you can hold your breath.
Okay.
Secondly, we developed a questionnaire and distributed to 20 participants to collect their personal information, including their genders, ages, what types of exercise they would do, and what's the duration of their exercise. These questions were decided because the answers are the determining factors that may influence the lung capacity. Afterwards, all participants from each subgroup were invited to conduct the balloon test. Before attempting the balloon test, the height and weight of participants were first measured, which were used to estimate the vital capacity. And the balloon test was applied to find out the tidal volume and the vital volume. All the participants were required to blow up the balloon. After the excursion, the diameter of the balloons was measured. The above procedure needs to be repeated for 6 times. 3 with the normal breath, which is considered as the tidal volume, and another 3 with the deep breath, which is considered as the vital volume. Totally, 20 participants were involved in this test. Then we take the average of 3 trials for both normal and deep breath and used the result to estimate the lung capacity for each participant by using the Markov graph. Apart from the above experiment, we select 2 participants in non-average group for the purpose of investigating whether adopting an exercise routine has an effect on lung capacity. After we obtained the initial data, one of them was asked to do aerobic exercise at least 20 minutes per day for 2 weeks, while another one was asked to remain his regular lifestyle. In order to obtain a more accurate result, the exercise routine was under our supervision. For example, participants were required to keep a log sheet to record the times that they spent on the exercise and the types of exercise they have done during the experiment. After 2 weeks of experiment, they were required to perform the balloon test again and estimate their tidal and vital volume to see if there any difference after applying a new lifestyle.
From this table, we can observe that the average balloon diameter of male participants in both normal and deep breath are higher than that of female participants. Also, the average balloon diameter of male and female athletes in normal and deep breath is greater than that of non-athletes. Besides, after exterminating the two participants for 2 weeks, the participants who did the aerobic exercise performed better in the test. The balloon diameter in normal and deep breathing of the participants who did the aerobic exercise have increased by 1.6 cm and 1.5 cm respectively. However, the participant who came his normal lifestyle has no significant change in both breathing tests.
From the results of the two selected participants, it indicates that doing aerobic exercise regularly can enhance the lung capacity. One of the reasons is that the breathing during the aerobic exercise will lower the diaphragm and allow the intercostal muscle to contract more vigorously. When the muscle of diaphragm and intercostal muscle are stronger, the volume of lung can be expanded is larger, which means having a larger lung capacity. So that's why athletes usually have a larger lung capacity than non-athletes. Also, at the beginning of the experiment, we asked the participants their perception of different people on lung capacity. The results shows that a majority of athletes understood what is lung capacity and the ways to improve it. But for those people who don't do the exercise regularly, could only provide a little explanation or even don't know about it. The difference in lung capacity between these two groups of people could be explained by the reasons why they exercise. The athletes who exercise regularly want to have a better performance and endurance when they're engaging in the aerobic activities. And one of the efficient methods to do so is to increase their lung capacity. For those non-athletes, they might not require a large lung capacity in their ordinary life, and therefore they might not realize the limitation of their lung capacity and try to enhance it. As a result, the non-athletes have a worse understanding of lung capacity, since having a larger or smaller lung capacity will not affect their life significantly. Another hypothesis that males have a larger lung capacity than females is also testified from the results of the survey, even if they're athletes, non-athletes, or having the same body size and age. The reason is that the sex hormone is the dominated factor for the development of lung. The male sex hormone, androgen, and the female sex hormone, estrogen, will be released to the male and female at puberty, respectively. However, they have different effects on the development of lung. Why? Since the androgen helps develop the lung with a larger alveolar surface, which means the lung can contain a larger volume of air than that of female. Moreover, males have a higher proportion of muscle in body structure than female. Therefore, they require a larger lung capacity in order to obtain a higher amount of oxygen for body cells to maintain normal metabolism. After watching this video, do you have a better understanding of lung capacity? Although having a large lung capacity may not be crucial to your life, we still sincerely hope that you can do more exercise and lead a healthier lifestyle.